Woman with a bullet through her body, but time is frozen. Her mind goes blank. That's when a Grim Reaper appears. He wants to take her away, but look at the time. 15 seconds left. The Grim Reaper immediately became interested, intended to play a game with the woman. He gave her the ability to freeze time, use these last 15 seconds, to find and even kill the killer. Since death is inevitable, then before he dies, at least to find out the identity of the killer, and leave evidence for the police. Then the first step is to go back, to find out who really wanted to kill her. It turns out that as time continues to flow, the pain will return with it. So in the process, she had to act with severe pain. The woman managed to turn around, but seeing the killer's face, she was overwhelmed with shock. It was Xiao Mei. It turned out that Xiao Mei's mother was suffering from severe depression. As a medical doctor, the woman gave her a special medicine, but the strange thing is, Mom's illness not only did not get better, instead, she got worse and worse. Finally knocked over the medicine box, she died of depression. Xiao Mei suspected that there was a problem with the special medicine. That's why her mother died without treatment. So she came to take revenge. The woman was very wronged, but now that she has been shot, no matter how much explanation, eventually, she will die. She killed me, and I couldn't let her get away with it. So I took advantage of the pause. I looked around at everything I could use, and quickly made a plan for revenge. Start. Pause. She pushed down the white powder on the table, so that the powder spreads all over the doorway, so that if Xiao Mei walked in, she would leave footprints.
Stand up!
She deliberately wrote down Xiao Mei's name, to leave evidence for the police, but it's so obvious, they're bound to notice. But don't worry, this is just the first step.
Stand up!
She throws away the marker, so that even if Mei finds the handwriting, she would have subconsciously taken another pen to correct it, and two different pens. The color is very different, but this little trick will be easily seen through. But this is only the second step of the plan.
Stand up!
And the woman's ultimate goal is anti-revenge. Either way, she's going to die. We can't die for nothing.
Stand up!
A woman is hit by a bullet, but accidentally gains the ability to freeze time.
Stand up! Stop!
She's going to use what's left of her life to leave evidence for the police, to bring the killer to justice. First, she wrote down the name of the killer. Then she broke the vase to cover up the writing, and then put 2 flowers in the socket, and the flower stems and the table are covered with water. If the killer wanted to change the name, he would have to remove the flowers. But that's not enough.
Stand up! Stop!
Now there is also water on the ground. Once Xiao Mei touched the flowers, will be instantly electrocuted to death. Everything is done, but the woman suddenly regretted.
Stand up! Stop!
She pulled out one of the flowers. Didn't want to let Xiao Mei die straight away like that, because she remembered the real reason for Xiao Mei's revenge. That day when the woman came home, found the sleeping pills missing from her bag. Thinking about it, must have left it at Xiao Mei's house, so she went back, but found the sleeping pills were poured in Xiao Mei's mother's medicine bottle. The woman was puzzled, until she saw this suicide note. To prevent accidents, she rushed to change the medicine back. Just then, Xiao Mei came home. She saw the scene. The woman found a random excuse, and covered it up. Xiao Mei was a little suspicious, but also did not take it seriously, until after her mother's death. She then thought of everything, so she thought it was a woman who poisoned her mother to death. And at that moment, only 3 seconds before death, suddenly, something unexpected happened, disrupting all plans. It turns out that after the first shot, Xiao Mei found himself exposed, worried that the woman did not die through, so immediately moved to the window. Another shot. Look at the time again. Less than 1 second left. After the woman was shot, she is frozen in midair at the same time as the bullet.
Stand up!
Only 6 seconds left to live. It seems to want to kill the killer. It's definitely too late. Just then, she found an envelope. It started. Time began to flow again. At the last moment, the woman held the envelope for dear life. But there was no time to leave words. When the killer returns to the room, her face was full of shock. The first time the gun was fired, only a dozen seconds had passed. And this woman, in such a short period of time, deployed everything. Xiao Mei just lifted her foot, immediately realized that something was wrong. The white powder on the ground. It was clearly a trap, so she put on the slippers she had prepared, and went to the table. She tried to change her name, and then she froze. Even if she did, the police would find out, because it wasn't the same pen at all. She saw through the woman's little trick, so she carefully walked over to the woman, picked up the used marker, and came back to change the writing. These flowers were too much of a nuisance. Xiao Mei tried to remove them, but was stunned on the spot. It was all in the woman's plan. When Xiao Mei woke up again, security guards had arrived at the sound. In an emergency, she hurriedly changed her name, and took away the envelope in the woman's hand. No matter what trick she played, as long as it was destroyed. But when she opened it, she realized it was her mother's suicide note. It turned out that since her mother was suffering from depression, she had treated herself as a burden. She kept refusing to take medication. That's why she became sicker and sicker. Then she stole sleeping pills from the doctor. She wanted to end her life for good, but in her confusion, mother thought again. If she died, what would her daughter do alone? So she simply changed the vitamins. She wanted to take her out of her misery with her. But coincidentally, sleeping pills were replaced by the doctor. She finally knocked over the bottle of pills. She drank the pesticide and killed herself. Xiao Mei never thought the person she just killed was her life-saving benefactor. She ran on the ground in despair. Her heart was filled with regret, although she had erased all the evidence. But what awaits her is still the justice of the law. The police found the name of the murderer. It turns out that before death left, Broken left evidence, although against the fate of heaven. But I still give you a gift from the underworld.